I'm a mess.
Hey, we're live. Good evening, everybody. My name is Tim Gillette, and this is the Like the Way You Drink podcast. And I can't do this alone. I have to have a co-host because let me tell you, when you're drinking, you should have a buddy. My buddy is
Gladys Boutwell. I'm in Oregon. Hi, y'all. I've been missing you. Been gone for 3 weeks, I think. I'm recovering.
We took a few weeks off. All right, it's all right. We're ready to hit May with some pretty interesting drinks. So trying to get my banner.
Yes, absolutely. And I was not at the Betty Ford Clinic, as one of my friends would always tease me that one day that I would be at the Betty Ford Clinic. So that's not what was going on. Just saying. I'm gonna get my tortillas over here.
So we both do this podcast from our offices, all right, which means to do food and beverage in an office means it relies an awful lot on microwave and prepping in a kitchen.
Yes.
All right. Now, fortunately, I office from home, but my kitchen is downstairs, and my wife is out of town. So we're not going to tell her what the kitchen looks like right now. Right? I will clean it up because, one of the things I do every week when I'm done this podcast is I take everything down step by step, and then I pull everything off my desk and I clean my desk because, food and stuff drips. And I literally work from here every day, guys. I don't have I think you have a separate table for yours, but no, I'm doing it from my work spot. I don't have an alternative. So.
Well, I'm kind of sort of in the same but my desk is behind all of this. So I have another table in my office. So, but it's still the same thing where I'm needing to clean up everything because I don't want to come back to mess in the morning.
It's sticky, yeah. So
yes, sticky,
yeah, especially like we had a couple of weeks ago, we had Sambuca, which is a sugary. All right, if you leave that down, it becomes sticky if it dries. Right, yeah. You don't leave that sit. So that's something you got to get up. So anyway, this week, hello, Lynn. Welcome to the show today. So this week we decided to do. We're going to do some Mexican themed ideas this month, considering Thursday is Cinco de Mayo.
Right.
So we're going to do this month. We have mezcals, tequilas, margaritas, and I believe Mexican beer. Is that right?
Yes.
All right.
That is correct.
Now today's stuff is mezcal, and there was one I said that I wanted, and then the other one.
This is what Tim wanted, and the sad part is Tim could not find this one. He called me frantically going, I can't find it. What was another one? So I had another one as a backup, as a secondary backup to this one, but he could not find this one. They found it. Thank you, Total Wine and More. Yeah, shameless.
So I promised Cindy, the wine manager, I would give her a shout out tonight. All right. She's the wine manager at the West Plano Total Wine and More store. She did. She connected with me on Facebook like within hours. So Cindy, thank you so much. I know you dug to find it for me. All right. Got me my stuff tonight so that we can do. Now, this is the reason I like this is because I'm a big fan of Sammy Hagar, as most of you know, but I'm also a big fan of Guy Fieri. So I am. And, the fact that this is a partnership between the two of them is one of the reasons why I wanted them. And then I said, Gladys, you go pick one. Because the truth is, Gladys, have you ever had mezcal?
No, I've never.
When we open this up tonight, literally, we will be tasting this for the first time. I've never had it.
This is kind of exciting. I love trying new things. And this was one that you would think that I would have tasted it by now. It is becoming a lot more popular. More people are drinking it. The price points are raising because they are that much more popular.
Because some celebrities have their name on it, the price has got gold into it. Anyway, no.
Yep, pretty much.
Gotta keep those two guys in the lap of luxury.
Well, just like a lot of others that have put their name on labels or have they've invested. There are some that have invested and then have been bought out, and it's because they put their name on it in the back end saying, hey, this is what I drink, or I've invested in this. And so then it becomes very popular, which then opens them up for others to want to say, you know what, I want to take over that, whatever it is, whether it be a gin, Aviation Gym is one, Casa Amigos is another one. There's quite a few out there that it's all been different well-known celebrities that have invested in all these different tequilerias or distilleries.
And more than ever, I think you can look at we learn in marketing, you and I, the connections we have, celebrity attachment. More than ever, you can see it in alcohol. You see for instance, is one of the reasons why we bought this one here is because we see the celebrity attachment to it. Now, I think, if I'm not mistaken, I believe George Clooney has a tequila, I think. Yep.
That's the one that's Casamigos.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else that I know. Who else in the music? There's a couple of people in the music industry have their own tequilas as well.
Yeah.
So,
and then Ryan Reynolds, he invested in Aviation Gin.
Yes.
And then he, even recently he was still doing this funny whole bit when they were doing the commercials with it. So it was just kind of funny, but he was one that was bought. I don't know if he got bought out or just the Aviation Gin itself got
I think the Aviation Gin itself got bought out, and which included his stake. So I'm not familiar that much with the company. When we do gins, someday we will do gins because, again, something else, I really don't drink. I have a ton of it in my house. I really don't drink it. But that's what this whole podcast is about. We're not just about drinking what we like. We're actually tasting new things. So, and we're going to pair these tonight with something that is important in Texas. I don't know about up there in Oregon, but down here in Texas, all right, you can tell the type of restaurant it is by how the chips and salsa are. All right. And I'm telling you, all right, it's you can have a bad Italian restaurant if you don't have good chips and salsa. That's how bad it is in Texas. You have chips and salsa. So, I don't know what salsa you got. I've got an on the border salsa today to make fun. But I buy a chunky, but I take my thing out and I grind it down. I make it, I like puree it.
So there's a few different ones that I will get. There's a local one that is hotter, where they give you this big old jalapeno that you can chop up and put it in there to make it a little bit spicier. Mm-hmm. The go-to is the Reese's, which is the main brand. That is the restaurant style. But this time, I found one of my friends had jarred one of my salsas. So this is actually my homemade salsa. That is super easy to make. I will get the recipe together and share
recipe for that in the chat later.
This one is not as hot as I normally make it. It's a little bit more subdued, and I think it's because I was going to be sharing it with others that I kept it a little bit not as strong, but it still has a certain sweetness in there. It's really good. I also have a little mango salsa that is just chunky. You got mango, purple onion, cilantro, a little bit of cumin, salt, pepper, garlic. Mm-hmm. And then what would be like a pico de gallo, but it's a little bit different, where it has tomatoes, purple onion, cilantro, your cumin, salt, pepper, what have you. So this one, and lime juice. There's lime juice in both of these too. And then the other thing that I did was that I got some queso fresco. You can also use feta. And then I got for crunchiness, I got the radishes, slice them up into little matchsticks, and then put them in water to tone them down so that they don't have that big bite. And I made carne adobada, which is pork that has been marinated. It's cheaper than getting the whole steak and doing it. It was just easier. Cook that up. So I am having pork tacos today with the little mini tortillas, which I'm keeping warm in here. Oh my goodness, look at yours, all pretty. Gorgeous. Okay.
And I made 4 of them. I don't know if I'm going to eat all 4 of them, but yeah, I have ground beef. I just cooked the ground beef. I did it at lunchtime today. I had one today. My lettuce that I have is I chopped romaine lettuce into it, chopped up the tomatoes, put into it, chopped up the onions and scallions and put into it. All right. Some Mexican cheese, right? And then I was going to add some of my salsa with a spoon on top of it. And I do have some cilantro cut up and put into some fresh cilantro put into it.
Perfect. That just gives it that freshness. And you can do that with most tacos is just, you just chop up the cilantro and some onions. You can put a little bit of lime juice on them, mix them in and just throw them on top. It's really what you would like to do with it. I went a little bit different. One thing that I did was that I brought my waffle iron into the office to heat up my tortillas.
Now, do you have can you switch the pan on your waffle iron to go flat on one side and then it's waffle on the other?
You know what? I've never tried it. It is one of those that flips, kind of the fancy ones that you see at continental breakfast where it snaps closed and then you flip it over so you can make 2 waffles at a time. I don't snap it closed because then it overdoes my tortillas and then it makes them just hard. If you do, I used to have just one of those that closed. That one was perfect to make tortillas. This one, I just put 4 of the little tortillas in there and didn't snap it closed, just closed it down. And it just heats up your tortillas perfectly. I learned that in a restaurant that I worked in when I was in high school. When we served menudo, we would put the tortillas in the waffle iron and they just heated up beautifully.
Wow. So now chips wise, you're going to love my chips trick because I'm going through, I had to go shopping because Gwen's out of town. So I just got typical chips, right? Mm-hmm. But these look like typical chips, but they're not. Guess what these chips are?
Oh, is it one of those that you're getting that are like the cauliflower ones or pita chips?
You're going through the snack aisle. What chip is advertised more than any chip on the world that you see and you're like, I got to get it?
Well, besides Doritos?
Doritos. Come on. How can you pass by the Doritos while you're in the chip aisle and not grab a bag?
That is true. I went with, because this is what I had at home, Juanitas.
Yeah.
I almost got them at the Mexican restaurant. I have a local little Mexican market here, where I got my meat and my cheese. And they also have a really good green and red salsa that you can get in the containers. And I was going to get their chips because their tortillas are the tortillas that they make on site.
Right. That's the best. Those are the best tortillas to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is I'm keeping mine warm as best as I can in my little
I made my tacos about 25-30 minutes ago, so the meat's probably cold into them again, but it's okay.
It's you know what? If you have crunchy shells,
I don't have crunchy shells. I have soft shells.
Oh, okay. See, with crunchy, you can usually get away with them getting cold. They still taste crunchy and yummy.
And I almost was going to, on my way back from Total Wine, but I forgot I was going to stop and buy crunchy shells as well, and I didn't. I just decided to go with regular flour tortilla shells, all right, and make them up. Because literally, our agreement was make your own, do-it-yourself tacos.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, originally I thought Gwen and I, when we do tacos, we usually do a taco salad. We make all the stuff, and then we just pour it in on top of chips.
Yep.
But
nice.
We're not here, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to come up with my own way to do this, right?
I did make a taco salad for dinner yesterday. I put down the romaine and then my meat. It was ground beef, but I also used mushrooms. So I chopped up the mushrooms and the onions, cooked those down, and then I added the ground beef, mixed everything in. I got 1 tomato, chopped it up, and then blended it because I didn't want to put tomato sauce in it, and I didn't want the tomatoes. And so having that 1 Roma tomato in there just came out so juicy and yummy. Mm-hmm. So I added that. I added the matchstick radishes, cheese, black beans that I had, canned black beans. Yes, I cheated on that. Rinsed them down, put those in there too, some sour cream, and some taco sauce in there. And it was an and avocado. So it was an absolutely delicious taco salad.
Yeah. I wished when I was doing my meat today, I wished I would have put some of the onions in the meat. And I wish I would have gotten like a pepper and I didn't get a jalapeno pepper, which is like signature. You got to have that. All right. I don't have any of that tonight, but it's okay. I made it. Actually, my tacos are pretty good, but let's get into it before you go and start onto it. This is the one you picked, right?
Yes.
I got home today, and when I took it out of the bag, mistakenly, I grabbed it. It started to fall, so I grabbed it, and when I grabbed it, came right off in my hand, and I almost spilled it.
Oh,
And I'm like, I am not. Whoa! I am not going back up to the store to get
right.
a bottle today. So, but
No.
The Santos I didn't even open yet. I just took the thing off while we were talking. So, anyway.
Yeah, no, this is yummy. I'm making my little taco. I could put 2 tortillas, but I'm just gonna put one. I also have the cheese that I'm throwing in there because cheese, and I do have cilantro. You can also, if it's pork, you can put lemon on it. I have my cilantro that I can add if I wanted a little bit more cilantro. So I got to get a taste of this because I have been drooling over this. So
I'm starving. So, and I've been waiting the whole time to come on tonight. But anyway, that's why I have chips and salsa, by the way. So I'm going to pour them into shot glasses first.
I don't have shot glasses, but I did bring in my little guys. So there's that one. And this one, I did lose a piece of it, but yeah, oh my goodness, this comes out way too easily.
It does.
Oh, wow. Smells like new. You know, certain things have a new smell. This one smells like new. Oh, wow. They smell both really good.
Oh, my gosh.
So one of the things that I was laughing at myself was because normally I say that all scotches are whiskeys, but not all whiskeys are scotches. When it comes to mezcal, some people will ask the difference between a tequila and a mezcal. So both are made from the agave, and there's a lot of similarities when it comes to that, and that's about it. So all tequilas are mezcales, but not all mezcales are tequilas. So it's the same with whiskeys. All scotches are whiskeys, but not all whiskeys are scotches. And tequila comes from a very specific area, but they are made with different types of agave. So even though they're both from agave, they're different types of agave. There could be more than 30 varieties of agave in a bottle. So it's quite interesting, a lot of fun.
But in your research, all right, is this mainly a drink that comes out of Mexico? Yes. Does it come from anywhere else in the world? It doesn't. No. It only comes from Mexico, correct?
Correct. So in order for a tequila to be called tequila, it has to be from the area of tequila, which is Michoacan, Guanajuato, Nayarit, Tamaulipas, and Jalisco. So if you're looking at that coastal side of the Pacific side of Mexico, that's the area. So you're looking at Puerto Vallarta area, if you want a geographical area. So that's 5 places in that geographical area where tequila is, whereas mezcal, they're produced in 9 different areas of Mexico. So it could be in multiple areas. So it's not in one general vicinity. And both are made from the core of the agave plant, which is the piña, the middle of the agave. But when it comes to tequila, after it's been steamed, it goes into copper pots, whereas mezcal, you're looking at clay pots. So it's been
oh wow,
yeah, it's put in earthen pits with lava rocks, and then they're filled with wood and charcoal before they're distilled in clay pots. So very differently made. Now, some of the large distributors, I'm sure they're using more modern technology. But if you go to the core of those that are making traditionally the mezcal, they want to use the traditional method. It's kind of like you go to Hawaii and you want that pork that's been in the ground with the banana leaves and the charcoal and everything. Imagine that for the agave and what it goes through to make this mezcal.
Does anybody around the world try to make and imitate it and call it something else?
You know what? Not that I know of. I'm going to have to do some more research on that because I did think about it. A lot of times you think about certain things kind of like champagne. It can only be called champagne.
If it's made in Champagne,
right.
France.
But now others are making sparkling. So you
Yes.
have had, or we have had sparkling wine for a long time. It just cannot be called champagne.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. I have to look that one up. Um, Another difference is that tequila comes in three varieties. You got your blanco, which is your white, your which has been the silver kind. So if you see silver or blanco, it's the same thing. It's usually up to 2 months that it's been distilled. Reposado, it's 2 to 12 months, and then the añejo, the more expensive one, 1 to 3 years. Whereas mezcal, it's into three categories, not varieties. So you got your young one, which is joven,
Yeah.
which is up to 2 months. The reposado, 2 to 12 months, and then your añejo, that is at least 1 year. So that's kind of the where you're looking at when it comes to mezcal. Um, the taste of it, you know what we may should have done, Tim, is that we should have had maybe, well, once we taste it, we'll know if we should have paired it up with a tequila to see if there's a difference in taste. Or
Well, we're going to do tequilas next week, so we can just have. I mean, I'm sure we'll have it still, and we'll have it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So this is Mezcal Illegal Joven. So this is the illegal young mezcal.
It's the name illegal. It's not illegal mezcal.
Yes, that is. But it sounded so much more fun the way I said it.
I know.
So this one is unaged. So if it's unaged, it's 0 to 2 months. So it's unaged, and hecho a mano. So it's made by hand. So this they are doing it the traditional way, by hand, product of Mexico. So you're looking at 40% alcohol by volume. And then the mezcal Santo. This is spirits distilled from agave, which we know, made in Mexico, and 40% alcohol by volume. So, which one are we going to try
my
first?
brother-in-law Howard would read.
Which one do you want to try first? The illegal?
I already tried the illegal first.
All right. So
I've already tried it, so.
it smelled like new to me. When you opened up a box of something, it smells like new. It tastes like new. Like, I don't know. It's, you open up a new box of something, leathery.
Yeah.
That's the flavor I'm getting. Very leathery.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know what it reminds me of?
What's that?
It reminds me of some of that moonshine that we had when I was a kid.
Mm.
A little more salty than the moonshine. But anyway.
Okay.
I know I'm going to have to try it with a taco now, of course. We know. And my tacos are going to make a mess. Good thing I have a vacuum cleaner I can bring up to my office later.
No, that's why I have a fork over here, because I'm like going this far, falling apart.
Everything I have is going to fall apart today. It's okay. It's tacos.
I was going to say it's tacos.
I should have brought an extra plate.
Okay, so I have a mango salsa over here. I have a feeling this is going to be a little too sweet for it, but I got to try it. Anyway, let me cleanse the palate with the chips. So y'all bring chips and salsa this entire month. So the mango for me enhanced the flavor of the mezcal. It just like said, opened up all the pores in my mouth and said, oh, taste this mezcal. But it does have that leathery taste to it, in my opinion, that new smell that you just like, not almost like a new car smell, but more of a product when you open it and it just smells so good. That's what it's tasting like to me.
Yep. Thanks, Ruben. Welcome back.
Thanks for coming.
So This one here with the tacos, when I got to put the salsa into it, will make it really kick more.
Ah, a little bit of salsa. So my salsa isn't too spicy. So
Yes, I have a mild salsa this time. So
yeah, as do I. Very mild. So mild that I can just I'm like, so usually a tequila will bite.
yeah,
Most of them, not all of them. But your silvers, they're usually gonna have a bite. This one doesn't have that bite. It just has a little.
it doesn't. The
Yeah.
other thing I was going to try to do is pour it over ice.
I did not bring my ice with me because I wanted to try it just like that since I've never had it before.
I'm just going to try it by.
And if you've ever wondered how they make the flowers out of the radish,
Yeah.
when you've seen them, they just look beautiful. After you've done the slits in them, put them in water.
And they open up.
And they will open up and look beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
So slice the bottom. That way you can put them nice and flat. Then do the little slivers, 4 to 5 slivers. And then if you want, you can add an extra one outside, the slivers on the outside, throw them in water. They will open up and look like a gorgeous flower.
Okay.
All right. So that was actually
kind of when you put it on ice, kind of blands it out.
Okay.
I don't know if I like it on ice.
I will have to try it on ice. All right, I'm going to make my second taco, although I probably should heat up my tortilla. It got cold very quickly.
Yes, all of my stuff is cold, so.
It is what it is. It happens.
Anyway.
We try to make things that will hold, but you know what? It does not always hold. I did help plan a party, which I didn't realize. I thought I was just lending out the venue, and then turned out that I got in charge of creating everything. So I had a taco bar, and one of the things that I did was I brought the waffle iron to make sure that everybody had hot tortillas, just because once your tortilla gets cold, then it depends on the tortilla and the brand that you're using. Some of them will hold when they're cold, others will not.
But
okay,
you're using corn tortillas though. I'm using flour.
so some people will eat the flour tortillas without heating them up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care for them that much that way. I like to heat them up. So corn tortillas, you heat them up at lower heat. Flour tortillas, you heat them up on a higher heat, like medium high. When you're using because I grew up with a gas range, so we always heated it up directly on the flame on the stove. Now I use a comal, a skillet, a flat skillet, to heat up my tortillas, but I still do the lower flame for the corn, and I heat up 2 at a time. And usually you can tell the little bubbly side. So you want to make sure the 2 bubbly sides are together, and then you heat them up like that. You just leave them on one side, flip them over to the other. Whereas the the flour, you heat them up at a higher temperature, and then you do them individually. You don't heat those up together. They stick together if you try to heat them together.
They do.
Whereas the corn, they beautifully come apart when you pull them apart.
All right. So first of all, I'm gonna have a chip before I move on to the next one.
Oh wow. Oh, okay. This one doesn't have that leathery taste or flavor to it. It's a little bit more mature, in my opinion, than Illegal. What I did not look up on this one was to see how long. Let me see if the little attachment.
It's a little bit sweeter.
Yes. If you go to santospirit.com, there's probably more information. I did not do the uh, Santo Mesquila. So they call it a mezquila. So a cross between mezcal and tequila.
Yeah.
So this is a mezquila. Yeah, it's a higher spirit. It does have a oh, look, it won the San Francisco World Spirits 2018 silver medal.
Yeah.
So this one has won
This one's a medal winner.
Yes. And there is Santo Tequila. So they do have a tequila.
Mhm.
Santo does have a tequila. Actually, when I got this one, so in Oregon, we don't have as many mezcals for whatever reason. Washington had a lot more than Oregon. And I didn't get it that day that I was at the Total Wine and More because I didn't remember which one. And I ended up getting another tequila, which was not what I was looking for. And so when I came to Oregon, I was like, there was very few, but this one was next to the tequila. So
Yeah.
this was interesting that they put this one with the tequila, but they put the mezcals by themselves in this one little corner. There was only, I think, 6 or 7 of them. So I was pretty surprised that there was 2, this one included, that Tim could get in Texas.
Mm-hmm. So there was another one that you chose, and just in case we're going for backup, that I was almost going to get before she walked up to me. Before Cindy walked up to me at the store, and I was on the phone with you. She walked up and she had 2 bottles. One was black, one was white. And I remember I said to you, okay, so which bottle was yours, black or white? So,
the good thing is I take pictures of everything, so I knew it was the black one.
Yeah. Because you were driving in the car while we were talking.
I didn't look for the picture while I was driving, y'all.
No, you
Not
didn't.
that crazy.
No. But one of the things that we had that we could try with this is try making a drink. Did you bring anything to try to make a drink with it?
I would have to see what I have. What do you have? I might have sparkling water.
Hold on. I'm going to do one thing, and I'll tell you what kind of thing I'm going to try to do with it.
Okay.
What am I going to
I have ginger beer with me. If I were at home, I know I do. I always have ginger beer at home.
All right, so I have some mixed lime juice I can use.
See, I have all that at home.
I know.
Because at home I have everything at my bar. Because
wait a minute. Just smelling it with the lime juice is a great pair. So, ginger beer, ginger ale, same thing.
there is a chef in Canada that many years ago, it must have been 20 years ago, he was talking about making ginger beer or ginger ale. And I happen to have everything at home. And so as he's making the ginger beer or ginger ale, I made it along with him, and it was so good. But grating the ginger, that's one of them. Lime juice, lemon. No, not lemon.
Okay, so I got turned on to mules. Because Craig's friend, used to be in our mastermind. He's still in the mastermind, but he doesn't come around as much. Is Marcus Slayton? Do you remember Marcus?
The name rings.
Yeah, he was very much part of Craig's group for a long time.
What did he do? Because he's sounding familiar.
He was in real estate, but he owns a liquor store now in Colorado.
Okay.
But Marcus, we're at an event one time at Craig's, and him and I went and got all the stuff we need to make his mules, all right, from the store. And then he had the mixture and basically told me, just go get a cup of ice first. So I go get a cup of ice, and literally I try to circle around so the guy doesn't realize where I got the ice, what I'm doing with it. I should have just asked for a cup of water and drank the water while I walked.
Right.
Because I didn't know it. The guy actually was trying to follow me. And I just was walking around trying to get back to him. And Lily went back to him. And Marcus pulls out his mug, pulls out his lime juice, pulls out his ginger beer, all right, and tequila and vodka, and mixes it all, and we stir it all into it. And the guy walks up as we're mixing it behind the table at Craig's event. We didn't get Craig in trouble. We talked our way out of it, but anyway.
Oh, we can't do this.
Yeah. Oh, oops! I didn't know.
Well, at some point, the airlines decided you could not bring in your own booze. And one of my girlfriends, we were on her way to Vegas, and she had her, a few different little travel size ones, and she had
Yeah.
asked for like pineapple juice and orange juice, and the flight attendant's like, "Are you gonna mix your own drink?" And she goes, "Yes, I am." And she's like, "You can't do that." And she's like, "Oh, okay, we'll put it away." And she did put it away, in her tummy after she drank it. So, Mary, that one's for you.
Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, as a mule, much better than vodka.
Mm. I will make it when I get home.
Mm-hmm. It's almost like a cross, but it tastes almost like another thing I should have is like mint and stuff. I don't. It tastes like a cross between a mule and a margarita.
Oh, yum.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this one, once I look it up, it is not the Joven. It is this one has matured a little bit more. That's why it's smoother.
Yeah.
I might tell this story again next week since we're doing tequilas, but I will have to tell the story today in honor of my nephew that passed away a few weeks ago. He was in his 30s. Everybody loved him, Jaime. And so after my mama passed away, we got together at his dad's house, my brother-in-law's house, and he said he was going to go get tequila. And I told him to get some good shit. And so he's like, okay. And I was going to give him money. He goes, no, Tia. He goes, I got it. And I was like, okay. I said, but you got to get the good shit. He's like, okay. So he leaves. He comes back later with 1,800. And I'm like,
The good shit.
I said some good shit. And I went, okay. And so my other nephew, Juan, he was making micheladas. So I just stuck to the micheladas and I'm going, yeah, I don't want a headache. So this is what this is reminding me of. When you got the good shit and you got something young,
Yeah.
you got the teenager learning to drive, and then you got the late 20s, early 30s, that's been driving for 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the difference between these, is that you have something that is more well balanced.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't give you that bite. It doesn't smell like the new car smell. This one is still learning to find its own. It's still good. It still has a lot of depth in it, but it's almost like a wine when you have tannins in it. It needs time to breathe. That's the way I see this. It just needs a little bit more time to age. So I like this one.
I love it. Same thing. I mix my drink with the Santos because I like the taste of it better. But this goes into my family's histories with moonshine, and I love moonshines that are made right, because once it's made right, it tastes right. But then you take that same made right and you age it, it's really good. As opposed to some people are out there going, well, I'm going to age it to make it good. Well, if you don't put the great quality into it first, it's not going to, no matter I don't care how much you age it, it's going to taste like shit.
Right. It's what goes in comes out.
Yeah.
Whatever you're going to be sowing, that's what you're going to grow.
So, I mean, I personally, and I've had this argument with old neighbors of mine who drank like Keystone Light beer. Like, no, that's good. I'm good with it. I'm like, dude, it's water with a beer flavor to it, dude. Like, it's got no flavor. I don't drink to get drunk. I drink because of taste. I want something.
Good.
This really, in this mule, I'm like, it's come to life. It makes me want to finish my meal with it.
Right? No, that one's really good. I really like that.
That's because I think it goes well with the lime juice. It's why. And let's face it, tequila and lime are two great. Most Mexican stuff pairs better with limes. So.
Right. And tequila, you can sip a tequila if you have a really good sipping tequila.
Yeah.
You don't have to do the shot. You can sip on it, and it tastes really good. That's what Santos is. It's you can just sip on it, enjoy it, but put it in a drink. You're like sit in the backyard or sit in the porch. Nice little afternoon, on the deck, just relaxing and enjoying. Mm. I'm kind of glad I kept everything very mild. I did not put spicy on anything today. Even my pork that you sometimes has a spice is not spicy today, and I like that.
Yeah, my meat wasn't really that spicy either. My tacos, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm almost wondering though with these, especially with the Santo. I think this would do well as you amped up your spice.
Yes, this would help it. It would just add to it in the sense that it will tone it down and allow the flavors of both the mezcal to come through as well as your salsa to come through.
Yes.
So what I'm going to do with my salsa is that I have my chile de árbol. It's a dry chili that you put on a skillet, on a dry skillet, a hot dry skillet, and you just toast it. Once it's toasted, you bring it off the flame. You then add about a quarter cup of water and you cover it. And you let it sit for at least 15 minutes so it reconstitutes. Once you've done that, normally when I don't have tomatoes in season or when they're very expensive, I usually just get the fire roasted can of tomatoes and I blend the onions and the oregano and salt, pepper, and the chilies with the tomatoes. In this case, because my tomato sauce has been jarred, I'm just going to take my jarred sauce in with my chilies, blend those together, and mix everything to give it a little bit of heat because this has a little bit of sweetness in it and it could use some heat, and I think it'll just kick it up a notch. Growing up, I never ate spicy, but we always had a little bit of spice on the side in case anybody did want it. Because my family, of course, isn't Mexican, but we did grow up in East LA, so had to have some spice on the side. And I do enjoy some spice. I really do.
Yes, Sean, it's yummy, and you'll be lucky if any's left for you when you get home. Love you, Sean.
Well, he ain't getting any because all of this is down here with me, and he's in the next state over. So sorry.
Hey, Sean, next week we're doing tequila, and you know what tequila is known for?
Tell us, what's it known for?
I'm just letting Sean know. Tequila makes your clothes fall off, Sean. Get her lots of it.
Bad, Tim. Bad.
Sean's like, yeah.
Well, he's going to have to come south because I'm in Oregon. I think he's back to work on Monday. Oh, darn. What fun. I will have to make a mule the moment I get home. That is, I'm going to do that. I do have it. I do have my Moscow Mule mug and my my beer. That's something I always keep, even if I just buy one.
Yeah.
I buy one.
I'm thinking the only thing I don't have, usually when I do, I usually put cuts of like a mint in it. I don't have any, but I think if I added the mint to this, I'm telling you, it would like all envelop you in taste.
Okay, mint. I will have to try that. Y'all remember Saturday, Kentucky Derby, mint juleps? Make your mint julep with some mezcal. Mint.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Why not? Make something different. Try something different. Why not? If you ask your bartender to switch it up and put some mezcal in there, guess what? I'm sure the bartender will take care of you. Try something different. But yeah, why not? And then Mother's Day on Saturday or Sunday, on Sunday. For Mama. Show her you love her.
Well, Here's our Mother's Day this weekend. So my wife will be back on Sunday. We may go to the wine bar we normally go to.
Oh yeah.
But there's a chance we won't because
It's
unlike Portland, all right, Dallas Mavericks are in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And we have a game on Friday night. Yeah, Friday night is a game that I actually have tickets to. I'm trying to get tickets for the Sunday night game right now.
So there's a possibility you'll probably get them.
Yeah, but I want to go to playoff. To me, I'm like, I am actually going to get to not only one playoff games, but I'm going to make it to the second round of the playoffs for the first time ever to be live at a game.
Go Mavs.
Yeah. So anyway.
You know what? Being Mother's Day weekend, you might actually get some good seats for that because those that might have season tickets, they might say, you know what? Got to give them up for Mama.
Oh, no. They have this down. We take Mama out, but I'm sorry, Mom. All right. By noon, the date's over. We're going to the Mavs game.
That's the way it works. Okay.
So, and I think that I was looking at my notes earlier. I moved them, but I think it's like an afternoon game. It's not an evening game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like my Friday night game is like at 8:30 at night. It's just going to be a late night Friday night, but I don't care. It's a Friday night.
Yeah.
So, and they're in the second round of the playoffs, and this is the tough one. So.
Yeah, I've been watching some games here and there in the middle of everything else and trying to get work done a little bit. That's been a struggle. And then trying to rest. So it's been trying to get all the things done.
Did you take the whole time off from work too? Or
so as one friend of mine said, oh, so the doctor said take 2 to 4 weeks off. So that means 2.5 days to you, Gladys. And I went, that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm.
So surgery was on Friday. On Sunday, I'm like, I'm fine. I can go to the store. I'm feeling good. So I went to the store on Sunday and, very specific things I was picking up. And then I actually walked to the other end of the supermarket because I needed bread. And by the time I got there, I'm like, I kind of leaned over I'm using the cart to hold myself up. I'm like, okay, I got to leave. So I get to the not self-checkout. I actually did go through the regular checkout. And I'm like, I need somebody to help me out. I mean, I was walking so slow. And the young guy that will help me out, he said, take your time. Don't worry about it. He put everything in my trunk. I'm like holding the car to hold myself up. I got in the car and I'm just bawling. I'm like, oh my goodness, I feel like crap. I'm like driving home, which is 4 blocks, maybe 5 blocks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like going 10 miles per hour. I see a car coming. I pull over as though I'm parking. Car passes me. I'm like back 10 miles per hour, pull over. Another car passes me. This is a small street. And I'm like, I get home and I'm like, I don't feel so good. It was bad. It was bad. So Monday, I took that Monday off. Then Tuesday, I'm like, oh, I'm going to get some work done. 2 hours later, my body's like, And I was down for like 3 hours. I mean, it's like my body said, So then I took Wednesday off, and on Thursday I did 2 hours and my body said, I'm done. So I took Friday off. Saturday, I think I worked a little bit on Sunday. And then Monday I came back to the office, and after 2 hours I had to go home, took a nap. And then I came back to the office. And then on Tuesday I came in late, worked about 4 hours. And then I'm like, body said, you're done. So then I worked from home on Wednesday, and I was in a virtual conference on Thursday, Friday, and kind of taking naps in between. So this is kind of my first week back trying to get work done and recover. So yeah, my body is mad at me right now. And so I'm trying to honor it and not push myself too much.
Can you, how does drinking affect it? He's like, you can't drink too much, can you?
My doctor didn't say anything about that. She did tell me to do brisk walks or my running at 50%.
Okay.
So I'm still healing. It's going to take a month for me to actually heal, is what my doctor said. So mid-June is when I go back to make sure everything's hunky-dory. Mm-hmm. So, and I haven't been drinking all that much anyway. I mean,
I know. I didn't drink the whole month. I didn't drink have alcohol the whole month of April.
Hey,
All
you're
right.
dry April instead of dry January. That's okay.
Well, one of the things I did this in 2022 after getting COVID a second time. I decided to watch my health,
Yeah,
right,
that's
and
important.
really take care of things. All right. One of the things I had to do was learn to balance what I'm putting into my body, and like I decided that like every now and then when I get a chance, there's certain things I'm going to take, and I'm just going to fast from them.
Okay.
So, and alcohol was just one of those things. I'm like, okay, I'm going to fast for 30 days from alcohol. All right, was tough to do, but I did it anyway. And I'm like, I don't drink that much. All right, but still, it was something I took out of my. I totally eliminated in the past 60 days sodas. I'm not drinking sodas right now.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah,
I
I'm
gave up
trying to get.
soda back in 2000 15, 14, 13, 2012,
Yeah.
fourth quarter. I was like, I didn't need soda. I decided cut it out. I stopped drinking soda in fourth quarter of 2012, and I haven't gone back. I don't miss it.
So I mean, I drink the. I've been drinking like the seltzer waters,
Oh
and
yeah.
I add lime juice or lemon juice to them.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I still have the feel of soda. All right,
Because
but
of the fizziness.
yeah, because the fizziness, and then the lemon or lime juice, because the lemon and lime juice will actually give it a little bit of flavor. All right, but really, you're still drinking mostly water.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but and like I haven't eaten a lot of like junk food over the past 60 days as well.
Oh, good job.
I've been cutting a lot of weird shit out of my life, right?
So
And
one of the things that I also did in 2012 when I gave up soda was I gave up going through drive-throughs.
oh
I
wow,
said, if it is that important to me, I
oh
will
yeah,
park the car and get my ass inside and order it. If it's that not important, I'm not doing drive-through. And then when 2020 hit, that certain things were drive-through, I'm like, it's no. If I can't go inside, I'm not doing it. I do not want to do drive-through. And it's hard for me. I did have to do a drive-through not that long ago, and it was like I was twitching because I'm like, I don't do drive-through. So it's like when you start cutting out things or just making little tweaks like that, where you say, you know what, I'm gonna walk it. Is it that important to walk inside? And one day I did go into Starbucks, got a venti, whatever it was, and a bear claw because I had to drive home in snow, and I knew it was going to take me 2 hours to get home. Yeah, it was that important. So I got out and I did it. That was in 2013. And I was glad I did because yes, it took me 2 hours to get home.
yeah. So no, I'm not, I like that because yeah, I don't do drive-throughs, and it's not because of. And during the pandemic, I realized I had to do a few of them. I hated it. If a place has drive-through only, I move on. I don't go there.
Right.
I don't. To me, it is getting out of the car, walking inside, and stepping away from your car for the matter of minutes. These are little things that I've done to try to take care of my health.
Right.
You know, the other unique thing I do is like I go to a grocery store or I go someplace. I don't park up front. I park way out and walk up. That to me, walking is my exercise. I
Right.
have to do things like that to take care of myself, and and then every now and then I cut things out. Okay, for a month I'm not going to do this. For a month I wouldn't eat. I think one time I actually did a month where I didn't eat cheese or milk or what I mean. I take that stuff out for a month. That's it. I was going to take it out for a month, and then if I don't miss it, why do I have to add it back? But if I miss
Right.
it, okay, great. Now I can add it back and be regulatory with it. This past month it was very unique to actually take the alcohol out. All right. And while I say I don't miss it, to me, it's like I'm drinking this tonight, enjoying taste,
Mm-hmm.
fully tasting things for the sake of tasting, not tasting it for the sugary into it or the salty into it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So anyway, that's the greatest thing I got out of April and our break. All right. I had a break. I had my one other podcast was going, and my Tim Gillette show. I've been on a month long break, so I start back up next week.
Oh, good job. Good job. Good job. Sometimes we need that. And I was asked this weekend that if I feel that I always have to be on the go, go, go. And I said, well, I've been resting. And it's like, no, you're recovering. That's different. Do you feel you always have to go, or do you just sit and be lazy? And I'm like, I try, but I really can't. I really can't. I have to feel that I am being productive.
Yeah.
And sometimes our bodies will tell us when we need to rest. So before it gets there, we need to just take the rest for ourselves, because it is good for us. And I do notice the difference when I take that time to relax and enjoy whatever it is. I come back so refreshed. And then I could really hit work that much harder.
Yeah. All right. So as we recap our week, let's start with your pick first.
Yeah, no, it tasted, it's learning to drive. It tasted like new car smell, very leathery. The taste was not bad. It really was not bad.
No, it wasn't a bad taste. It's just not as good. So I'm going to give it a thumbs down and say there's a reason this was the cheaper one.
Yep.
So this one here.
Oh my goodness.
Right, not just for the namesake of the fact that Guy and Sammy are on the bottle. This here really is a premium tasting alcohol.
Yep.
And it went well with everything I had: chips, salsa, tacos.
Yep.
So,
and mule. So we're gonna have
and it made an awesome mule. So
yeah, it'll be a different mule. It's not a Moscow mule. It's not a Kentucky mule. We will figure out. It's not a Mexican mule either. That's a whole different story on that. But
I don't know. Well, I actually, I think it was called I looked at it. There was a Mezcal. Say the word for me.
Mezcal
Mule recipe out there.
Oh, so maybe it's a Mezcal burrito?
It's just called a Mezcal mule. That's all it's called.
Okay. All right.
So.
Gotta make it.
So that's it. I mean, you know what I mean? You've got to actually try things. And that's what we did. We tried it out tonight. So I'm glad I'm going to keep this one here on my shelf. I'll probably let my brother-in-law sop this one up if he wants to get drunk.
Yeah. There you go. You got to have stuff for other people that don't know how to appreciate the good stuff. You just set this one aside and say, go here.
Yeah.
Try that.
Try that. So anyway, it's been a great week. It's good to see you again. Glad we're back. All right. We're going to come back next week, do some tequilas. And
tequilas and tacos, y'all.
Wait a minute. I'm going to look because, okay, we did a very unique month this month, all right, on our tacos. We're going to do tacos every week, but what tacos are we doing next week?
Let me look because I don't recall what it was that I put on the list. Let me see. Next week, we're doing tequila local tacos. So go out to your local favorite Mexican restaurant, get a couple tacos, some chips and salsa.
Okay. I'm going to get chips and salsa from the same place. So we have in I don't know what you tell me what you have in a minute. But in Dallas, we have this place called Fuzzy's Tacos. And they have their chips have what's called a Fuzzy's dust on them.
What kind of dust is on them?
And so it's like it's got like, you know what I mean, some spices to it, some good spices to it. That I'm going to get their chips as well. All right, and then I'll actually get the recipe to say they don't print the recipe online, but I'll give you an idea of what's in the Fuzzy's dust.
Okay.
So all right, but yes, Sean, we're going to do Taco Bell in a couple of weeks. So because Taco Bell, let's face it. If you're going to get fast food tacos, Taco Bell is the best. The Dorito Taco Bell. Yep, you got me, brother.
Dorito Taco Bell. I don't know. Just go with the Supreme. Go with the Supreme.
Dorito Taco Bell Supreme. Yes, that's what I'm going to get. I'm telling you right now.
All right. I will pick up the Dorito Taco Bell Supreme. I was just going to go pick up the regular Supreme Taco Bell. Okay. Dorito. Okay.
So that's just what I like. So anyway, well, guys, this show is sponsored every week by our businesses. My name is Tim Gillette with Simple Easy Marketing. Go to simpleeasyevents.com to find out more about how we can help you with your online marketing. And also sponsored by my
Insurance by Design. I take care of all your insurance needs when it comes to Oregon, Washington, California. And if you need help somewhere else, let me know. I probably know somebody in your state. Go to insurancebydesign.com and reach me. I'll take care of you.
Cool. So we have one guest chiming in. Last guest here. All right. Good morning from Bali. Thanks, Nina, for dropping in. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great week.